Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So in this video, we are going to have an interview with a person who is working in Middle East as an engineer, and he is going to share with us his experience and also a guidelines for a fresher how you can get a job. So this video will be very useful to you. Let's get started. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm good, Akil. How are you doing today?
Fine, thank you, sir.
Thank you for inviting to your channel. I'm hopeful that some of my advices will be helpful to the fresher candidates. And let's start now.
Could you please tell us about the Gulf market, how it is?
Everyone wants to work in Gulf, and it's not only limited to working in Dubai or Kuwait or Qatar or Saudi Arabia. But the most important part comes is like how the candidate should focus on the job profiles and based on their technical skills which they have developed in their home country, which will help them to success over here. So initially, most of the candidates who are coming over here are having a past experience of 2 to 3 years or 4 years or 5 years. But nowadays, the trend have changed. Freshers can also get a good job over here if they are targeting the correct skills. So you can see here that a lot of job postings are coming on LinkedIn and naukrigulf.com and on these websites. And when you read the job descriptions, some of the times the candidates have the potential to give the interview. However, they lack some of the skills which can help them to crack the interviews because the Gulf market is at a boom for the employment, and you can see like many job interviews which are conducted has more than 100, 200 candidates. And sometimes they are screened before, but sometimes in the walk-ins you can see it can go more than 100 candidates. So you have to be better in all the aspects, and you need main prime focus in the Gulf market is like especially the targeted industries are the MEP industries. MEP industries in which you can see like people are going in the field of heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, which is the most common, and they are going into the project field, which is like starting out their career as a supervisors or technicians, then growing to the engineer level. So it all starts with a ladder. But if you have a past experience in India or in other places where you have worked, you can directly come and apply for the higher positions and posts. So this is the trend now. The construction industries have been always in a very good growth rate in this country. And it's a very good chance for the candidates to go ahead and apply for these job roles. Initially, they can start at a junior entry level and they can grow based on the experience, based on their exposures, and based on the people they will make, based on the networking they will make. So the future will be very bright for them.
For example, engineering graduate after completing his degree, what are the courses he need to take to get a high-paying jobs in foreign countries?
So the engineering graduates depend on the skill, depends upon the major which they have studied. For example, if there is a mechanical engineer who has studied mechanical engineering as a core, and his experience, like in the college, like he was very interested in fluid mechanics field, and he was very interested in the field of refrigeration and air conditioning. So for them, there is a very good scope to grow in the field of HVAC industries because it's completely based on how the systems will be designed, and they can apply the theoretical knowledge of the books to the practical knowledge. And to bridge that gap, they need to do some small courses which can help them to come to the industry standards. And since they are already studied those subjects in their field, in their colleges, so it will be easy for them to grab the concept. For example, a student who has studied refrigeration and air conditioning, it's very easy for him to understand what is a psychometric chart, what is the dry bulb temperature, what is the wet bulb temperature, what do you mean by relative humidity. And then he can apply those concepts in the available softwares, in the latest market softwares. For example, we engineers use hourly analysis programs. He can just use those data, weather data, and all these parameters for the calculation, and he can estimate the total tonnage required to cool a building. So yeah, but for that the candidate has to the college graduates needs to develop those skills. I mean, there is some bridging courses are needed to come to the industry and start, and that will be the entry level startup. Later on, they can emphasize on how they can improve their skills. There are various designing softwares they can go. If they are really interested to do in designing, they can go for Revit, they can go for AutoCAD softwares. AutoCAD is the key, it's the backbone for all the softwares. So now they are doing BIM. A new trend in the market which we have is building information modeling. So they use Revit MEP in which they can design the full system, and it's very fast. So this for the candidates who are interested in the thermodynamics field or in the field of they want to go into construction and they want to go in the field of heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Another way is another candidates who has major in electrical, they can do the same thing.
More about the HVAC designs.
Before I tell about the HVAC design, I would like to tell you like how do we communicate? Everyone communicates in the languages they speak. You communicate in Tamil, I communicate in Hindi. But the engineers they communicate by the language of drawings. So how you make a drawings? In order to make those drawings, you need to have some data. And from where you will get those data? So if I am an HVAC designer or any designer field, I will do some calculation parts. So those calculations are done currently we are doing with the help of a software called HAP software, which is from Carrier, and it's a very good software where you can put in some data and the weather data, the wall data, the how the construction of the wall is made, the data for the glass, the U values, which we call it overall heat transfer coefficients, uh, which is very important to know about the transfer of heat, how much the heat is getting transferred in and out of the building and in and out of the material, and then you have infiltration, like what kind of dose you have, how much infiltrations you are having in a building. So all these parameters we engineers collect and we put it in a software, and that software is going to calculate everything for you. And you need to see whether your calculations are correct or no based on the psychometric, based on, as I told earlier, that to be a good HVAC engineer, you should be very strong in psychometric. So yeah, so psychometry will help you to understand whether you have a correct dry bulb, correct wet bulb, whether you have the correct relative humidity you have achieved or no. The psychometric chart will help you to understand the dry bulb, wet bulb, the apparatus dew point temperature, and dew point actually, not the apparatus dew point. You calculate it in the HAP software, but you can have a look at the dew point through it. You can have a look at the humidity ratio. So yeah, it's all like how good you are in using your charts, your softwares, and then once you do the calculations using the app software, you get the airflow, you get the tonnage. So with the airflow now comes the part where you will once you know that you need an air conditioning unit of around 20 tons, suppose. So if you want to make a central system or if you want to distribute the air by ducts, so how you will design the ducts? Then comes the another part where you design the ducts. So everything is done in stages. You zone the systems, then you design the systems, design the ducts. The ducts can be designed by using softwares. There are very common softwares in the markets, which is like McCoy software, which they use, or you can do manually by velocity reduction method, or you can do by the equal friction method. So there are many ways how you can do the designs, and yes, in the end you get the final results where you distribute the air from the air conditioning units to the air terminals. So the air terminals can be diffusers, which also needs to be done by based on the airflow. When you get the air, you get it from the manufacturer, or you can use the softwares provided by the manufacturers. The most common one they use is beta software and these softwares to do the selections. So yeah, it's like linked from one place you start and you end at one place, and then later on you do the pan selections for the units where you have to do the ESP calculations. You need to know how much is the losses, friction losses, and all the other kinds of losses is happening when the air is flowing through a duct. So yeah, so it's all connected to each other, and when you design a system, you draft it. You go ahead and take those data and you draft it. Either you draft it by using an AutoCAD software, or you can use Revit, okay, or you can have, like, if you're working as a consultant, because over here in UAE it works like there is a consultant who do the initial. It starts with a single line drawings, and he's the one who does all the calculations and give it to get the approvals. Once it's approved, it goes to the main contractor, where he goes ahead and draft everything. So yeah, this is how the design stages are done. And once the design is ready, you come to a stage where they call it issue for construction drawings. So once you have an issue for construction drawings, you start to implement on your site the approved drawing layouts, and the building starts to develop. So this is how it is done. So in these stages, there is role of engineers, draftmen, and some high-level consultants. You have to take some references from some standards. So like ASHRAE standards, most common used standards for HVAC is the ASHRAE standard, which is American standard for heating, refrigeration, and air conditioning. So yeah, this is how we design and how we come to the part of air conditioning. And later on, you have multiple suppliers where you give your data and they will give you recommendations. For example, if you have an airflow rate of suppose 1200 CFM and you want to have a unit. So you will give it to the manufacturer and he will give you like, okay, this is not available. We have something available at this range, and they will provide you the data sheets and they will provide you with the available units available in the market. So you can buy and you can all this comes then it's like a big process, and it comes to the procurement stages, and then we choose the data sheet. Then you review the data sheets, you do the selection, you do the selection of the units based on the data sheets. In the Revit, you can have some of the units which are already they have some DIM modules which gives you data specific data like okay for the carrier make you can have these things. So some softwares can support which units can be installed prior to the use of the data sheets. So yeah, this is like a complete full process from the starting initial planning stage to the implementation stage. So here comes in this gap you have to fit in. So as a fresher, if you are coming in, you need to find a place where you fit in it. So the best part for us fresher engineering graduates who are coming in to fit in is to be in entry level jobs. Either they can start as a draftman because they will have all the data available from the engineers and they can start drafting it, or they can start as a junior design engineers where they can design the system and it can be reviewed by their seniors. So yeah, this is how, but they should actually know how to design a system, how you can design a shell and core area, an area which has nothing in it, from where to start, and how to consider all the factors to design it. So suppose there is an existing system, how you will make the tapping to the existing system, and this is the part for the shell and core area. There are many other ways, many other things in a building which I would like to talk and elaborate more since you asked about HVAC. So it is not only limited to air conditioning, it's about the ventilation, and ventilation can be divided into kitchen ventilation, car parking ventilation. So for the kitchen ventilation, you have to select the kitchen hoods. So there is a separate set of calculations for that. For the car parking ventilation, you need to make sure that you are as per the standard doing the correct air changes. For example, in UAE, it is recommended like to have 10 air changes per hour. And you have the smoke ventilation if in case of the fire, how much should be the air changes. So it depends on the standards which are provided in the place where you are working. So a fresh graduate should be aware about these things because these are the most common questions they are going to be asked for, like what is the minimum air changes you are going to use to design a smoke management system or something like that, and what do you mean by the latent heat, what do you mean by the sensible heat. So to bridge those things, so you need to brush up your college engineering graduates skills, the books which you have studied, plus a bridging course which will be very helpful to enter into this industry, and then you will be industry ready. You can start your job at entry level, and slowly you can see yourself grow in the next coming 2 3 years. You will be in a senior design level, or maybe if you start doing more projects, you can become a design manager also. So it depends how you want to take your career and where you want to take your career. So this is just a small example which I gave. So I can elaborate more on it, but it will take the whole day to speak on it because it's not a small topic to speak. So the HVAC itself is a very big industry. So candidates can move to the design side, the maintenance side. The maintenance starts with the technician level, then goes to the supervisor level, and in the technician level, you can be more into the how you can maintain the units, how you can make the units run for long run.
Freshers are coming for an interview, what are all the skill sets and the requirements the company will see?
When we take interviews for the freshers, we usually see like what projects they have made in their colleges, and was it focused on the industry in which they are interested to work, or what was their contribution. We see like how the result of the project has benefited, and what kind of output has been generated. Also, we see the candidates should have the basic knowledge of the psychometric. As I told you, again, I'm emphasizing on that part, refrigeration and air conditioning part and the fluid mechanics part, because this all works on those principles. So we would like a candidate who should be able to answer these questions, and she should know what is a dry bulb, what is a wet bulb, you know, what is relative humidity, what is humidity ratio, what is the comfort level for a human being, like how much humidity is enough for a person sitting in a room, and how much temperature is enough for a person sitting in a room. So there are standards which he needs to be aware. And we also look in the and we look in the candidates like how fast he can catch up with things. Do he has any prior experience working in that field? Does he did anything, any small courses or any small briefing or anything, any initiations from his end in the field which shows that yes, he is interested in the field of HVAC and he has a small project, not to be a major live project or a running project, at least a sample project on which he has done some drafting or he knows some basics. So that's enough for the candidate to start an entry level job. So he can get the chance to work in, and maybe he cannot start in the design, but maybe some companies will recommend them to start as a site engineers. In the site, you will learn more. You will see the drawings. Since the guy is already a design, he has done the design courses. It will be very easy for him to interpret the drawings. Now, for the first 2 years, he stays in the site, then goes back to the design. So this is how he grows. So the candidate should be flexible, not only focusing on I want to be a design engineer. Sometimes you need to enter into another field to enter into the design field. Until and unless you see how the things are put on the site, you cannot be a good designer unless you know where the things are going to be fixed. This is that part.
And also, sir, I really appreciate your efforts to train the fresh graduates so that they can bridge the gaps in the industry. So you are conducting a training and telling them what are all the points they are lagging and how to improve the points. So it's a very good initiative, by the way. So how a person who is watching this interview can approach you and start to take courses from you or learn things from you, how he can benefit from your experience so that he can crack multiple job interviews in abroad.
So for the training part, we have already had initiatives over here in the UAE, and I have met some of the fresh graduates over here in UAE itself, and they have trained with me on some specific field, for example, in the field of electrical design and the ELV side, and also on the mechanical side of the systems. So, and they have really benefited from the training which I have provided to them. And yeah, I see them in very good positions. And it's a growth rate for them because they have been focusing on a particular. They have started as a fresh graduates, and when I see them to be very competent in the meetings and very competent in talking about the technical things on the side, and rest apart, the managerial skills and the leadership skills are developed in the candidates by themselves. The only thing which they need more support is on the technical part, which we provide to them. And once they have those skills, they become more confident and they can achieve, they can talk, they can see, they can know how what material is right, what material is wrong, and how to plan things. And once you start planning the things, finish. You can achieve whatever you want. Because the best planner in the field of in the industry of construction, it all depends upon the project management and planning. So you should know how you will plan the thing. Same thing in the maintenance. When you start a work, you should know how you are going to finish the work. You cannot leave it in the between. Leave it in between. So unless and until you know each and every part inside in an equipment, how you will troubleshoot it. Same thing in the design. Unless and until you know from where to start and where to end, you cannot never finish your project. So we bridge this gap. We make sure that the candidates know, we make sure the one who takes our advices or who is going for an interview, or suppose anyone gets a chance to get an interview and he takes our consultation one day before also, it's enough for a candidate who is really uh, willing to go get a job. If you get in touch with us in one day before and ask us to prepare them for the interview, we can prepare them. At least we can prepare them 50 to 60% that he can give the answers. So in the next round of interviews, he can crack the interviews. So our main focus lies in that how we can set the candidate to at least sit in the interview, to at least answer the questions in the interview, to crack it. So later on, the development skills can go on. We have various courses, like we can provide the design courses, like you can go ahead and take the HVAC design courses, you can go ahead and take the electrical design courses, where you will teach you about how you will choose the cable selection, bus bar selections, and all these things can be taught based on the standards of the country which they are. And but the initially our goal is to make sure, like when the candidate sits, for example, if a candidate gets a call that for a trainee or a graduate trainee engineer you are getting shortlisted, or we want to hire you for a junior engineer post, or you want to hire for your junior site engineer post, or an entry level engineer position for the electrical, mechanical, or ELV, or the firefighting. So we give the candidate those things based on our experience, which an industry expert is going to ask, and they can brush it up on them. They can based on their past experience, it will be helpful for them to know that if there is some lagging, they can improve those skills, and we can provide those trainings, or else there are many resources available, they can go through them. But getting the correct thing to study is important, because the knowledge is like a vast ocean. So not everything is for example, for a firefighting job, you just need to know some of the NFPA standards, which will help you to crack the interviews, and also help you to design the systems. So we try to make the candidate focused. Means you have to focus on this particular path, and rest we leave it on God. If really that risk is for that candidate, he will get selected. Our job is to just prepare them. We do the interview preparation, we prepare it, we see where the candidate lacks. Part is to make sure that the candidate is well prepared for the interviews when he get a call, and rest is his preparation, his past experiences, and anything which we can add on his experiences, we can add it on him, and we can see where he lacks. If he wants to develop some skills, technical skills, we can help the candidates with those skills also. We can share our PowerPoint presentations, and we can do some workshops for them, and we can make them job ready. So this is the way how we prepare the candidates, and lest we leave it on the board. So if really that job is meant for the candidate, it is not going to be going anywhere, and he can crack that interview. But we make sure that the candidate is ready, he answers all the questions, he knows if there is anything in his CV which needs to be improved, we improve that thing. If anything which he wrote in his CV, and we check we pre-screen the candidates, and we tell them that okay, this job interview is not meant for you, this job interview is meant for you, so the candidates don't get disappointed later on in the later field. And if they lack some skills, we motivate the candidates in the same time, like we can help to bridge that gap. If you really want to work at the entry level job in these positions, come with us, we'll train you. You can go through this, and we can give you some practical applications also, and we can make sure that you know how things work, and once you are in the job, you excel. So the recruiter is also happy with you by seeing your work, that he hired a candidate, the candidate is hired who is really adding some good input to the company, and it is helping in the company growth, and you are also job satisfied, and you will not. And the most important thing is, when you know something, you avoid the most common thing which people are getting over here is what stress. So when you know something, you avoid stress. So if you really know how to design a system, if you really know how to troubleshoot a machine, it's not a stressful thing for you. You just know you need to follow 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps, and you can achieve the goals. And rest is your skill sets and how fast you learn with your seniors, with your mentors, with your managers, and then you excel and grow in your career. This is how it is. This is how it is done, and this is what we do. We build the confidence in the candidate. We make sure they go in the right job. They don't go in a job which they are not suitable for. And if they really want to do that job, we make sure they get trained in that field. So we provide the trainings in the field of HVAC. We provide HVAC, heating, ventilation, air conditioning design. We provide the training in the field of, you can say like a workshop uh, in the field of HVAC technicians. We can also give some knowledge and information in the field of electrical side, electrical design, ELV side, firefighting sides. So all the candidates, the potential candidates should have some past experiences. If they don't have that past experiences also, we can help them to give a small workshop. It's just for a very small cost we take, and we uh, give them a workshop which make them aware about all the systems in a building, and yes, it will help them to know which field they want to choose in future. So yeah, it's like a very good thing for bridging, and to know what the industry is here to offer for the potential candidates, and it will help to like to build skills in the people, and also raise the status, and also raise the confidence in the people to face the interviews, and well experienced and or pre-experienced candidates who knows actually what your system is, and how the system can uh, and how to maintain, and how to benefit their employers. So we are the one who are just bridging this gap. So this is what we do, helping candidates, special candidates, to at least know the environment, to know the things what is in the market. So this is the part which I'm talking on, the construction part. There are many other fields the candidates can grow. They can grow in the field of oil and gas industries, and they can grow in the field of uh, you can say the designing of the machine designing, and these parts. But for me and my team, we focus mostly on the construction part of the building and the construction part of the employment section. Uh, and we have a team which is also preparing the candidates for soft skills and generative AI. And there is a package courses they can take, and it will be like a pre-recorded sessions. And it's a very good course. If you take it, it will be uh, like a good uh, added knowledge in your system, in your database, which you can save and which you can refer anytime. So for the HVAC also, we are planning to bring pre-recorded sessions in future, which the candidates can take it with just a genuine cost. We are not charging very too much for that, and it will bridge the gap. It will be like they can refer it anytime. The calculation parts they can, but still it's under progress. So once it is ready, we'll let you know, and you can see it will have all the kinds of calculations for the car parking calculations, for the heat load calculations, for the buildings, then your smoke calculations, the chill water pump calculations, the chill water pump head calculations, and this will be like a consultant level training. So you will be like you will know how to make a single line drawing and how you design a system. In future, we'll bring up modules for the other designs also. Depends on the demand of the people. If they are interested to know more about the building services, we can prepare more courses for them. And the courses like the one, not only the courses that they do it and that's like not in use. We'll give them something which they can implement it in everyday use. Because doing many courses and not using it is also waste of money, because if you're not using it you will forget it with time. It's very normal with us also that if we don't use a particular thing we forget with time. So a small package of the mechanical side, electrical side, plumbing side, firefighting side, which you can refer, like you can as a guide, and you can use it anytime to see, to for the meetings, for the interviews, for like you can just say it's like a handbook. We can provide a handbook in future. So yeah, this is how we make sure the candidates are ready, and even we prepare the candidates one day before, 2 days before. They can get in touch with us anytime, and they can tell us the job or which they are going to give the interviews, and we can screen the current candidates, and we can see how we can improve him, and we can tell him like how what is the chances of the selection and which area he needs to emphasize more. So yeah, we can help the candidates in this way, and later on in future they can do courses as I told you to improve their skills.
Example, a person who completed a diploma IT. So how will you train the person, like textbook experience, or you will be training him with a real life day to day problem which you are solving from the site? So how you will train these guys, and yeah, how it is going to benefit this type of diploma IT graduates? Can you please elaborate more on this?
So the diploma and ITI graduates are already having good theoretical knowledge in the field of engineering, which they have done, and they just need the small bridging. That that what are the things used? What are the type of refrigerants? For example, in a normal split AC, what are the type of refrigerants currently used? I will give you just an example like R22 refrigerant is there, which is now obsolete because of the global warming potential and these things. So these candidates should know that how you can replace this R22, which is the most compatible guy. We can train them like with the current standards that is recommended, how you can change it. For example, 407C is a compatible refrigerant for that. Same like other candidates, other ways, the diploma candidates, especially, are very good in supervision jobs. So we can tell them what are the type of ducts, most common ducts used over here. What are the latest trend? For example, the phenolic foam duct, and what are the types of insulations, chill water insulations. Currently, they are calling XLP, which is called phenolic foam insulation. The candidate should know what are the types of insulation. When you see a BOQ, you should know what does a phenolic foam mean, what does a fiberglass means. So we'll help the candidates to know the things which are there on the sites. We can show them physically either by the PowerPoint presentations, or we have some short videos. We have live videos from our sites we can share with them. We can give them a tour, live tour on Zoom or something. We can show them if they cannot visit here. We can show them from here. We can show them the operating principle. They can know about more about the chillers. They can know about the current trend in the market, what it is going in the HVAC industry, what is the advancement, VRF system, VRV systems. So we can train the candidates on these things. For the hands-on experience, over here, if the candidates are available in UAE, yes, we can do something for the hands-on experience for them. We have a team who can train them about the brazing and soldering and then clearing tools and how to do refrigerant charging and these things. But if the candidate is not available in the UAE, at least we can provide them with some of the informations in the form of videos, live videos, or pre-recorded videos, which they can see. But it should be done under an experienced professional, so they can join as a junior. They can join a place as a junior technician position, and under supervision they should start that thing. Or we can provide those informations to the candidate. The added advantage which we will give to the diploma and ITI students is like we will add for them the design side of the HVAC, which is usually a very important part. So most of the people know that there is a unit, 2-ton unit, 3-ton unit, 5-ton unit, 20-ton unit, but they don't know how the selections of this unit are done. Suppose there is an issue of a problem of airflow in a room. So the people will start complaining AC not working, AC not working. So why that AC is not working? Did you increase the heat load in the room? So these things will clarify for the candidates. So once the candidate know these things, so he don't have to worry about anything. He can make a report and give it to the engineers and to the higher departments with a recommendation, and that's really good. That will help them to show their employer that they have really the potential to be at a more higher position than just being a technician or supervisor, or they can be an engineer if they really grow more in this field with the correct degree, with the correct qualifications. So you can impress your employers, and you can. It will be like a self satisfaction for you also once you diagnose and solve a problem. So this is how we can help the fresh graduates. We have we can help them to crack the interviews. We can help them to know what specific things need to crack an HVAC interview, what specific portion they need to study to crack an interview, which field they need to know more. For the thing which I'm telling you is all for the entry level. If they are already experienced, it's much more better. We have advanced level courses for which we just have to train them exactly what. If they lack some skills, we can train them on that. But for the entry level, it's more important because they need to know how the gap needs to be closed between the industry and this. This is how we can help the candidates, and it will be like a very good information for them, not only not only to understand the system, but to improve their level of expertise, and they can explore more. And there are a lot of free resources available everywhere. You have YouTube, you have a lot of free websites, so you can explore. But where to explore, what to explore is very important. So we can guide them. So we what courses we provide, but preparation, interview preparations, which we do for one time or any time the candidate comes, we make sure that we guide them the correct way, that you need to focus on this particular thing and you need to work on this particular thing. So you can get a lot of information from anywhere, but the right information is very important. This is what we do. So by charging a minimum amount, yeah, it's like it's your daily pocket expense what we charge, and then you are ready to go. You have the data, you have the core initial courses, you can do it, you can see it. If you are interested, you can go more. There are levels. So we highly recommend our candidates to attend our workshops, initial workshops. We to know more about, because it will be a very interactive sessions, and you will know about all the things how the industry works, and you can choose from that. And that in that session you will also learn some things which are not which might develop your interest in the field, and you can choose. So it's like a workshop which will, and we can give you some information on a little bit on the basic design side. So to know that how it works. So it will not be just like a workshop that you go through a PowerPoint presentation. You will take something with you home. So we will tell you like how you can select in your home 4 by 4 meter. Home is 4 by 4 or 16 square meter area. So how much tonnage of AC you can estimate. We can give you some thumb rules. But to know more, you have to go on the courses which will be coming in the later stages, as I told you. So this is how we can help these candidates.
So you are going to provide a candidate with a real life and real problem experience, so they will be understanding the
So
things easy, and it will be very helpful for them to grow
yes.
in their career, which is a really a good initiative. Can you please tell me about the challenges which the freshers are facing, and how they can overcome the challenges in this job markets?
The challenges which is most common challenge, which is like when you see, when as a fresher, what we do. When I was a fresher, what I used to do, like to go to the websites Indeed.com and Naukri.com, and we used to go ahead and search the job profile. We used to see the job descriptions. We used to apply for the job, but we don't used to receive any calls. So why we don't receive the calls? The first thing is to make sure that your CV aligned with the job descriptions. For that, you need to make sure that sometimes it is called system matched. You meet the job requirements. You just cannot put I am requiring an HVAC technician or a supervisor, and you are putting a something completely different field. You are putting an HVAC design. No, you have to make sure you have the skills of a technician. You have to mention that you have done this project, that project. You have brazing skills for that. Even if you haven't worked in any project, you have the skills. You are trained in that. You know the systems. So I can see, like, if I put him under someone at an entry level under an experienced technician, the guy is willing to learn. So improving your CV is the very important thing. How you improve your CV. We provide the CV fixing. We can fix your CVs also. There is a team for us who build your CV, and we can do it like initially. We can see your CV. We can ask you about it. Like, we can pre-screen you. We can arrange a Google Meet or Zoom meeting, and we can see what you write in your CV. Are you able to answer all your questions or not? If there is something we feel like needs to be improved, we'll improve it. Or if some recommendation, if you want us to make it more you can say, like, more eye catching, we can make the same. So, but first we need to screen the candidate. We need to see the candidate really, whether if you have written something in your CV, you own it. We can ask, as an employer, we will ask you, so have you written everything truthful or no? If you have not written truthful and you want to work in that job profile, I already told you that we have that part where we train, technical trainings also we provide. Improve your CV, we take the technical training, go ahead, give the interview, and then finish. That's the end of it. If you get selected, well and good. Join in the entry level position, grow slowly in your career. With time, the company will help you to grow in your field, and then you can take up more courses in future to grow more. It depends on your skills what you want to do. So yeah, this is how we can. Uh, the freshers has to focus on CV building is most important thing, and they should also focus on some of the presentation skills, like using the new updated softwares and like Power BI and advanced version of PowerPoint. And they should also train themselves in the field of AI, artificial intelligence, and how they can effectively use AI tools so it can reduce their workload. So a candidate should know. If they are not knowing it, it's not a problem. We are always there to support the candidates to train whatever they want to get trained in. And yeah, this is how a candidate should be. And you should be very presentable when you go for an interview. And don't just assume that you go to an interview and you will have a face-to-face interview. Sometimes you have to solve. There will be a set of question papers. Some employers. I faced that. I was given a set of question papers to solve. So as you don't assume that just you memorize something and go and give it. They will tell you to solve it. They will tell you to draw it. So improve on that skills and always brush up your skills. Keep yourself interview ready every time. Once you have the opportunity, just go ahead and give it. So that's why we recommend to have that small handbook and small presentation which we will be providing in future soon. So you can keep it with you, and anytime you get, especially in the field of construction, you can target. You can just refer to this. At least there will be a chance that you can get selected in it, and you can work in the. You can also work in your country as long as you are working, or if you are experienced, it's much more better because a working experience. With working experience, sometimes people don't focus on the calculation part. So that will be good for you in your free times. You can just go through it and it will be helpful for you. So we'll just compile all things together, give it to you, and you can use it anytime that you want. So a full set of information, always be interview ready, and just leave the rest on God. This is what I should say. That's it.
And also there are candidates who is complaining that I came from India and I have 10 years of experience from India. They are coming to UAE and here all technology, software, everything it is updated and the latest ones. So how they can bridge the person who is already having experience in India? They could not get a job in UAE because the softwares are very advanced. So how they can overcome this challenge from taking your course?
See, if you are coming from a design background and you are saying that the software has an issue, so I would recommend that we have For the HAB, for the HVAC part, you have the HAB software, which is already the same thing, which is we are using in India and we are using over here. The most important thing is you should know the parameters and you should know the building codes. Yeah, that we are going to bridge the gap for you. We can make you feel ready. We can make you, for example, the green building codes. We can make you how what are the standards that needs to be followed over here. What are the other standards you follow over here in Abu Dhabi, in UAE, in Dubai, in Sharjah. So once you have those standards, once you go through it, it will be more than enough for an experienced candidate to get the job. And also we can help them initially to bridge the gap between the bridge the it's not about bridging the gap, just we can screen the candidates and we can see like where he lacks and where how he can get the job in the field of uh, design and these things. So for the consultant level job, usually you can, if you are really experienced guy, you can get it in a one go. But initially you start as a site with site, and then you work in the site for some time, and then you take a leap to the consultant. That's the best way because you will know more how the things work, or else you can start directly as a consultant. Depends on your interview cracking skills and your past experiences. But we can help the candidates who are not, mostly the people coming from outside the country don't know about the standards that is followed. So once we provide you the standards, once we tell you focus on this part, because the standard books are very too many pages. We don't have to, you have to read all the pages, but there are some specific things that you need. So we can help the candidates to know where to focus on that. For example, as I told you, for air changes per hour should be 6 for smoke, and for the car parking should be 10. So these small things like the delta T that needs to be maintained should be 16 degree Fahrenheit for the district cooling plant and these things. So it depends. Yani, it's a 16 and sometimes it's contracted also. All these things we can help the candidates to know these things. This is it. This is the initial. Yani. Experienced candidates, I believe, should not have more challenges other than the standards and codes because he has already worked and it's easy to catch him up. Our goal is focused on the candidates who are fresher, who needs to know actually what is happening in the field. So at least if they get started in an entry level also, it's good. Not only over here, in their country also. If you are here also, we can let you know. We can give you a workshop about the things, and then you can explore more the courses. You can go more, explore, and you can learn more. It depends on your choices what you want to learn. This is the thing. So we can, our initial workshop will tell you what are the systems, what are the electrical systems, mechanical systems, ELV systems, firefighting systems. So each systems will be there, and it's like each candidate has its own expertise. So you can choose whatever you want to choose. You can choose with us. We recommend that mostly to start working on the site first. So we focus on the candidates to work on site and also at the entry level technician level positions and these things to know more about the systems and to help crack the interviews. That's it.
This is like a fresh graduate who is recently studying their final year of engineering, final year of a degree. I think they can apply for a workshop or internship, so where they can have a industrial exposure with you. With that experience, they can easily understand many things because you are like an insider providing more information, so which will be very easy for us to crack the interviews. So I think this is a very good opportunity. They should be considering it because now even when I was studying, there are many workshops which I did, but that is not related to my work. So I feel that workshop and the training which I took before was waste of my time. So I think this one is very good because we are going to take a workshop and training internships on our jobs which we are going to work in the future. So it's a very good initiative, sir. You are doing. Yes, sir.
So our goal, Akhil, over here is that when you see a mobile, like for example, if you see a mobile, so you just see a mobile, but what about the engineers who made the mobile? They see it in a different way. So I'm not promising that all the candidates who will do the train, who will do the workshop, or who will purchase these small presentations or a small handbook which I'll give them will get the job. But in future, if you get an opportunity to get to that, you will not be a stranger to that field. You will know, okay, this is the field where I can put my interest. A college student, yani think about, you see a chiller, a big chiller, centrifugal chillers, 950-ton chillers, and they tell you something, it's a chiller and it works in this principle. But what if you are already trained in it and you know about it that these chillers have a compressor and a condenser, and you have a evaporator side and an expansion valve. The full refrigeration cycle is over there. Think about it once you see it live, and once you go through the content which I give you, and once you visualize it, and once you see a complete chiller in front of you, think about the feeling which you get, like, oh, okay, I already know this. The level of questions which you will ask from the internship or from places where you will visit will be completely different. It will be not that what is this, what is that, what is this. You will be asking like, what is the type of compressors, how is the compressor, what is the suction pressure for the compressor, what is the discharge pressure for. So it will build the confidence in you. And maybe where you go for internship, those guys will get impressed by you. That this guy is really, he knows the thing. So it's all about how you impress and how much knowledge you gain. So our focus is over here is to make sure that you are familiar with the thing, and you are not like someone is trained and then you say, oh my god, what's this? This is the heat load calculation. Oh, I know about this. This is the airflow. This is the apparatus dew point. Why the apparatus dew point is this? What is the grill temperature? What is this temperature? Why the ATP is not 55 degree Fahrenheit? It should be this. So you should be aware. Yani you can, interview cracking is your skills based on your lead, based on your presentation, based on how you talk, your communication skills. But technically, at least you will be able to give the answers. So this is how we can make you feel ready. That's it. So yeah, even if you do an AutoCAD course, you cannot just go start designing things. You need to set the units. You start by setting the unit, then zoom in, zoom out. So if you're doing the small things for the software, why don't you do something which will give you, which will help you to grow in future? And it is not a small field. We are just talking over here on only one segment, that is the construction segment. Think about the one who are manufacturing the units. I haven't taken you there. Maybe in future in our next podcast or something, we'll go and talk about these things. How we design, how the coil selections are done, and these things. So so each sections are divided, and an engineer don't have to do everything. And he is not the one who is doing everything by himself. You just calculate. You calculate. You give it to the manufacturer. He is going to give it to you. But make sure that you do the right calculations. Even if you are not working as a design engineer, and even if you are working with a kitchen exhaust hood supplier, so once you receive the calculation from the design engineer, you know that what the designer has designed. So see, you can have a job here also, you can have a job there also. So we'll just give you the knowledge. Wherever you get in and crack the interview, start and go. And for the experienced guys, they are already experienced in the field. They just needs the standards that needs to be followed. And that's a small bridging needs to be done. We can do those bridgings, or we can just give them standards what they need, and they can start the work. And the drafting part, the drafting better we recommend. If you want to learn the drafting, you learn drafting in AutoCAD, currently Revit, BIM models, and these things. You can do it. And then there are more stages in the HVAC. You have automations where you learn how you make an automation for it, where you will use to control the actuators and these things. So those parts are different parts. So it depends on your interest. That's why we highly recommend the candidates to take the workshop by paying a small piece. It's just a small piece. It will help us to. It's just an initiative to make sure that your money is not going to profit anyone. It's just going to make sure that we enhance more our educational initiative and we reach more candidates. So this is you can consider it just like a investment, and it's an investment to give the knowledge to more future candidates.
Thank you so much, sir, for having me this podcast and interviews. I think it will help more person, and also many people can reach you. And I will display your contact numbers and email ID, everything, so people can contact you and benefit from your support, because you are giving them the insider experience and insider information about the engineering field, which can definitely make them crack more technical interviews in any Gulf countries or any other countries, because the system is same all over the world, and once they know the system, they can make a good career as well as a good life for them.
Yeah, they should know the entry level requirements for a job. Once you are aware about it, you can crack it. And it depends on your, as I said, it depends on your uh, preparation, your previous experience, and how much you are concerned about the job. So the more you are deep into it, the more chances for you to go ahead and succeed in this career. So this is just one field which I talk about. There are many other fields the candidates can go. We are not pushing all the candidates to go in construction only. But yes, this is the field which is the most common, and people are not aware more about it, and you can see a lot of vacancies on the newspaper there. So why not give it a try?
Mhm.
At least give it a try and go give it a try. What if you get selected? So take up this chance, explore, and see see how the interview went. How was your interview, and whether you did it. How did you perform in the interview? And target supervisor positions if you are a diploma holders. And if you are previously, if you have worked in an AC field, target for the technician, senior technician positions. So it depends on your skill sets. You can target the job interviews. So yeah, thank you, Akil, for your invitation. I hope I just told whatever I can to on your podcast to assist the people. And anytime, if anyone needs any support, they can reach you and they can reach your YouTube channel and your contact, and we are ready to support for anything you need. Okay.
Thank you so much, sir. Have a nice day.
Thank you, and thank you so much again. Bye.